Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. If you are new here or if you don't follow me on TikTok or Instagram, you're probably shocked to see that I have a lovely black eye. But if you follow me on other social platforms, obviously you know all about it. Just to give you a little quick update about my eye, it's looking a lot better. It's lightening up. You can see that I have a bruise up at the top of my forehead. This is actually where I was initially hit. So thankfully it doesn't hurt or anything, but it's slowly getting there. If you haven't watched any of my videos, you're probably wondering, what in the world? How did she get a black eye? Very long story short, actually it's not even really a long story anyways. In Hurghada, I fell off a banana boat and I landed on top of one of my students, and it must have been her elbow or something because she wasn't hurt. She didn't even realize that I was hurt. And so her elbow or knee or something hit me right in the forehead right here where I have this lovely bruise. And it was a massive bump. But once I iced it, it went down almost immediately. Probably the next day it was almost gone. And I was like, okay, easy peasy. That was a quick injury, whatever. And then I started forming a little bit of a black eye, and then I thought it was whatever, it's just a little black eye, it's not even that bad. And then one morning I woke up and it was like, bam, in your face. It was dark purple. It was literally shocked me when I woke up. When I first woke up, like opened my eyes, I felt my eye was a little heavy and I was like, that's weird. And then I went in the mirror and saw that it was completely purple. And I was like, okay, well, we now have a full black eye. It's been a process, it's been a journey trying to lighten up the color a little bit, but it's getting there. It's funny because a lot of people think it's makeup because it has like the crease of where my eye crease is, but it's definitely not makeup. Anyways, it's slowly getting there, it's healing, alhamdulillah, and it doesn't hurt. Just this area up here is the part that kind of is tender, but it's all good, alhamdulillah. On another note, I thought it was really funny this morning because so when I got the injury was Tuesday, not last week, the week before. And then I woke up with a crazy purple eye on Friday, yeah. And so I had an eyelash appointment on Saturday, that same Saturday. I obviously had to cancel because my eye was really purple and swollen and crazy. And so they booked it for today, this Saturday. So I don't know when I'm posting this, but the following Saturday. And obviously I still have a black eye, but it's not swollen, it doesn't hurt. Mafish mushkela, and my eyelashes looked crazy. So I wanted to go. So I went and got my eyelashes filled. And I think my eyelash lady thinks I'm a little crazy. She like saw me walk in and she's like, oh my gosh, what happened to your eye? But because my eye doesn't hurt, I didn't think it was a big deal. And everything's okay so far. And I feel like it looks better with my eyelashes. Anyways, the actual purpose of this video is I wanted to start telling you guys some stories about when my mom came to Egypt. If you didn't know, my mom came to Egypt April for like 12 days or so. And it was a lot of fun. It was very busy, but it was a lot of fun. And of course, I have so many stories to tell you guys. The first thing I want to talk about is the pyramids and the scamming that happens at the pyramids and how sad it makes me because I feel like it taints the experience for sure. So I remember when I was planning this trip for my mom, figuring out where I was going to take her, when we were going, wherever. And obviously I said we need to go see the pyramids, the Giza pyramids. And so I booked it with my friend who's a tour guide. Going to the pyramids is very overwhelming. There are so many people trying to sell you things, and they just get in your personal space. I don't know how to explain it. But anyways, I just thought having a tour guide, having an actual Egyptian with us will be so much better, and it'll just make me feel more comfortable in a way. Anyways, and so we went to the pyramids. We had a tour guide. We're walking, we're following the tour guide, whatever. I'm saying la shukran, la shukran, la shukran, la shukran, la shukran, la shukran, la. It should be a song. But every 2 seconds, somebody's putting something in your face. They want you to buy this. Do you want to buy this? Here's a hat. Here's this. Yada, yada, yada. Okay, fine. They're trying to make a living. They're selling some things, whatever. But what I don't like is when they get in your personal space. So when we first got there, I was telling my mom, you have to say la shukran. Just don't even make eye contact. Keep walking. Ignore them. Don't look at them. Just say la shukran, la shukran, la shukran. Or ignore them, whatever. But just don't stop and engage with them, right? Anyways, so we're walking and I'm a little bit ahead, which maybe in hindsight, I probably shouldn't have been, knowing what's gonna happen at the pyramids. So it was the tour guide, it was me, and then my mom was behind me. And I turn around to see like how close she is, whatever. I turn around and I see this hat being put on her head by this lady. Like just this hat, and I turn around, I'm like, what the heck? And my mom's like taking it off her head, like looking confused. I'm like, oh no, no, no. So I march over there. I'm like, Ada. And I take off the hat and I give it back to the lady. I'm like, la shukran. And she's like, oh no. Oh no, my mom says to me, oh no, she's saying it's a gift. No, mama, it's not a gift. Nothing is a gift. So I said, no, she's gonna ask you for money if you like keep it, and if you walk away. So I kept saying to the lady, la, like we don't want, Giza, blah, 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 like trying to speak some Arabic to her so she knew I wasn't, like maybe she thought like I lived there or whatever. And she's like, and the lady looked a little startled because I was like getting mad at her in Arabic. And so she's like, oh no, gift for her. So, and she kept saying it. She wouldn't take the hat. So I was like, okay. So I took the hat and I started walking because I was so over her. So I started walking. My mom's like half laughing behind me. And we're walking. And it's in my hand. And I know this lady's behind me. And she's going to be like, excuse me. And so she taps on me. She's like, sister, money? I was like, that's what I thought. Here, like I was so annoyed. The way they just get in your personal space. They put things on your head. They try to like, it's too much for me. But anyways, that was like one of the first experiences my mom had. So she's like, what's happening? Why is this hat on my head? And then the second thing that I want to note about the scamming at the pyramids is we were standing in front of one of the pyramids with our tour guide, and the tour guide is telling us all this information, yada, yada, yada. And I noticed that this guy who's like selling things or trying to get money out of foreigners or out of anybody there, was taking a picture of this foreign guy in front of the pyramid with his cell phone. And I was like, oh, I hope he knows he's got to pay for that. It's very sad to say, but he's most likely not doing that to be kind and to just do something for you. He's going to ask you for money because he's taking your photo. Anyway, so once the photo's done, I'm kind of keeping an eye on the situation just to see like what happens. And the guy goes, okay, money. And he's very like aggressive and he's like in this guy's face. And the guy is kind of like startled and he like grabs his wallet and this man takes out a 50. And I'm like, oh my God. So he gives him a 50. And while this guy has his wallet out, the other guy, the scammer guy, sees that he has like more bills, like more Egyptian pounds in his wallet. And he sees the 200s. And he's like, no, this one. And he has his hand like in this guy's wallet. And he's trying to tell him, no, give me more. Give me the 200. And I was just like looking back, I still think about it almost daily. And I don't know why I let it affect me. But I'm so annoyed I didn't go up to him and be like, what are you doing? Like, leave him alone. Like, I'm just so frustrated I never said anything. Because it makes my blood boil. The tourist guy looked very startled. He looked very stressed. His friends were all on top of starting to climb. There's like a part where you can sort of like climb the pyramid. And they're looking down and they're like, come on, just walk away from him, blah, blah. They're just like trying to coach him as to how to get rid of this guy. And he was just so like startled and didn't know what to do. And he just kept saying, no. And the guy was like, no, this one. And he's like putting his hand in his wallet. Eventually the guy ends up getting his wallet back into his pocket and he paid the guy 50 pounds to take his photo and he walked away. And the older guy, the scammer guy, was just like, like was just so proud of himself. And I'm just like, ugh, I don't know why. It just makes me so angry because I feel like it taints the experience of going to the pyramids. And like, I'm sure it didn't ruin the guy's experience and it didn't ruin my mom's experience of seeing the pyramids, but it's just like, ugh, I don't know, it's too much. The people that are in your face and they're constantly yelling at you and they're putting hats on your head and they're digging their hands into your wallet asking for more money. Like, everything is just a scam about those people around the pyramids, and it just drives me crazy. I just wish it was set up like there's stands, there's like a little market, and if you want to go buy something, you go over there and you buy it. But the fact that there's people that are constantly in your face and yelling and invading your personal space while you're trying to enjoy this beautiful piece of history in front of you, it's really frustrating. So yeah, if you are, I guess even if you live in Egypt, if you've never been to the pyramids, but if you are planning on coming to Egypt and if you want to see the pyramids, or if you are in Egypt or you are Egyptian and you've never been to the pyramids, just my first piece of advice to people who are always going for the first time is literally don't make eye contact with these people, ignore them, or just keep going, la shukran, la shukran. Like, my mom, when I said to the lady, la, mishaiza, and I kept trying to give it back, like I wasn't like mishaiza, shukran, because I feel like you have to be sort of aggressive, which sounds bad, but you have to, or they're just gonna keep pushing it and pushing it and pushing it. And my mom was laughing. She's like, oh my God, you're so good at that. Like, you were like so like stern. I was like, I've learned after 6 years, you can't be like, oh, la shukran, mishaiza, shukran, because they're just gonna be like, oh, habibti, here, this is for you, hadaya. No, mishaiza. And so you just have to be super like stone cold, la shukran, mishaiza, I don't want, and just continue walking, because it's just, they will continue walking after you if they sense that you are someone who will eventually give in and give them money. I remember, speaking of the pyramids, I remember my very first year in Egypt, so that was 6 years ago, which is crazy. I went to the pyramids with the school I work at, took a bunch of us new teachers to the pyramids for just like a day out. And I remember another new coming teacher that was with me. So this is like our second day in Egypt. He took a picture of the camels. If you've been to the pyramids, you know that there's some camels that kind of lay around beside the pyramid. And he took a picture of the camels, and this guy lost his mind and said, you owe me money. You're taking pictures of my camel, give me money. And like, it was scary. And I was like, what is happening? This guy's yelling at him. Again, personal space, getting into his personal space, freaking out, walking after him, trying to get money out of him for taking a picture. And I was just like, oh my God. So ever since that experience, I'm just like, no, I'm not talking to anybody. I don't see you. La mishaiza, la shukran, 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 la shukran. That just has to be your song. When you go to the pyramids, la shukran, la shukran, la shukran, la shukran. Just sing the song as you walk up and through the pyramids. I don't want to make anybody feel like, oh my gosh, I don't want to go to the pyramids. That sounds crazy, or that sounds scary. It's honestly fine. It's annoying, but as long as you are just very firm, la shukran, no, thank you, and you just continue walking, you don't give them any time of day, they'll most likely leave you alone. But the second you're like, oh, what is it? Let me see. Maybe, they will hound you until you give them money. So you just have to be very smart about it. But it does make me very sad that that is a situation at the pyramids, because I feel like the experience would be, I don't know. I guess you just have to let it not taint your experience. But unfortunately for some people, it does taint their experience. But again, don't let this scare you from going to the pyramids. It is honestly unreal seeing the pyramids in real life. Obviously, we all know that the pyramids are huge, but seeing them in person, they're massive. Like, it's crazy. Like, I'm the size of like one of the blocks. So it is really, really, really cool to see. That was my second time technically going to the pyramids, but I've done like ATVing and horseback riding even to and around the pyramids as well. And so it's definitely a must-see. If it's not on your bucket list, it needs to be. Egypt in general needs to be on your bucket list. But just a couple tips for when and if you do visit the pyramids, just so you're not getting hounded and you're getting scammed out of your money, and you have a really good experience when you do end up visiting the pyramids. But anyways, that is my very first story about my mom and her experience in Egypt. She got a hat put on her head and this lady was telling her it's a gift. My mom was like, oh, my mom was probably thinking, oh my gosh, this is why Lindsay says Egyptian people are so kind. She's giving me a hat as a gift. Meanwhile, I'm like, no, Mom, it's not a gift. She wants money from you. Give the hat back. But no, I have so many more stories for you guys about my mom and her experiences in Egypt and so on and so forth. And so I will make some more videos pretty soon letting you guys know about all of those experiences, because I think it's very funny. I think you guys would find them funny too. Some of them are just like, Yallahowie, why would that happen? Of course that happens when my mom's here, but it's okay. Overall, my mom loved Egypt, so that's all that counts. Hopefully this eye will heal soon. I'm looking in my camera thing, my screen. It's crazy because the top, like where you put the eyeliner, like really close to my eyelashes, is like dark purple. Like that's not lightening up at all. Under here is lightening up a lot. Like this used to go to like here, I think. It used to be like dark purple. And you can see it's starting to turn yellowy brown at the top. The very like lower part of my eyelid is so dark purple, so I don't know how long that's gonna take, but hopefully it heals very soon. But nonetheless, alhamdulillah, I'm okay. That's it for today's video. If you enjoyed, please make sure you like, comment, share, subscribe. Kola hega. Thanks again for watching.